Good morning, everyone. The next book we're going to read is Miss Pigglewiggle Won't Take a Bath Cure. This was one of my favorite books when I was little. Mrs. Pigglewiggle lives in our town. She has sparkly brown eyes and long brown hair, which she usually wears in a knot on top of her head. She has a dog called Wag and a cat called Lightfoot, and she lives in an upside-down house. All the children love Mrs. Pigglewiggle, and Mrs. Pigglewiggle loves them. She is always ready to stop whatever she is doing and have a tea party, and she is glad to have children dig worms in her petunia bed. A petunia is a flower. In fact, Miss Pigglewiggle just naturally understands children, which is, of course, why all the parents call Mrs. Pigglewiggle whenever their children are being difficult. Mrs. Pigglewiggle always knows exactly what to do to help cure children's bad habits, like not taking a bath, which was Patsy Brown's bad habit. Up to the time of this story, Patsy was an everyday little girl, but one morning Patsy's mother filled the bathtub with nice warm water and called Patsy to come and take her bath. But when Patsy saw the nice warm tub of water, she began to scream, yell, kick, and howl like a wild animal. Uh-oh. Naturally, her mother was quite surprised to see her little girl acting so peculiarly. But she just said, "Now, Patsy, stop all this nonsense and hop into the tub." Patsy ran from the bathroom yelling, "I won't take a bath. I won't ever take a bath. I hate baths. I hate baths. I hate baths." Uh-oh. That's not good. Patsy's mother let the water out of the tub and went downstairs to telephone Mrs. Pigglewiggle. She said, "Hello, Mrs. Pigglewiggle. This is Patsy's mother, and I am having such a time this morning. Patsy will simply not take a bath." Mrs. Pigglewiggle said, "I would say the radish cure is probably the quickest, most lasting, and all you have to do is buy one package of radish seeds. Then let Patsy alone as far as washing is concerned. When she has about half an inch of rich black dirt all over her, scatter radish seeds on her arms and head. Press them gently and just wait." There she is in her upside-down house. The next morning, Patsy's mother didn't say one single word to Patsy about a bath. And so Patsy was sweet and didn't act like a wild animal. The next day was the same, and so was the next. See how she's starting to get dirty? Getting her doll dirty. When Sunday came, Patsy was rather dark blackish gray color. So her mother suggested that she stay home from Sunday school. She was covered in dirt. Look at that. She's not taking a bath. At the end of the third week, Patsy skipped out to get the mail, and the postman, on seeing her straggly, uncombed, dust-coated hair and the layer of dirt on her face, neck, and arms, gave a terrified yell and fell off of their porch. Uh-oh, he fell off. He was so scared. He's never seen anyone so dirty, I bet. Patsy's parents decided to keep Patsy indoors at all times after that. But Patsy seemed quite happy. Of course, it was getting hard to tell how she felt. As her face was coated with dirt, she couldn't smile and talk. "Okay is I am Patsy, and I won't take a bath." Uh-oh, she couldn't talk right because she was so covered in dirt. She also had to take little tiny bites of food because she couldn't open her mouth more than a crack. Uh-oh. She's covered in dirt. At last, the day came when Patsy was ready to plant That night, when she was asleep, her mother and father tiptoed into her room and very gently pressed radish seeds into the dirt on her forehead, arms, and the back of her hands. Some days later, Patsy woke up in the morning, and on the backs of her hands and on her arms and on her forehead, there were green leaves. She jumped out of bed and ran downstairs to the dining room where her mother and father were eating breakfast. Oh, at my hands, she squeaked. She couldn't talk right because she was so dirty. The dirt. Her mother went over to Patsy and took a firm hold of one of the plants on her forehead and gave it a quick pull. Patsy squeaked again, and her mother showed her a little radish she had pulled out. Oh my goodness, she was so dirty she was growing plants in her hair. Patsy suddenly said, "Other eye, Aunt Beth." "What did you say, dear?" asked her mother, busily pulling the radishes and pulling little neat piles into the dining room table. Beth, said Patsy so plainly that it cracked the mud off of her left cheek. Patsy's mother said, "I think I'd better go up be a shower." And without another word, she went upstairs and turned on the warm water. Oh, she's getting all nice and clean. Patsy was in the shower all that day. She used up 2 whole bars of soap and didn't come out for lunch. But her father came home for dinner. There she was, waiting for him at the door, clean and smiling. In her hand, she had a plate of little red radishes. That's why we have to take a bath. It's not a true story, but it's a funny little story about Miss Pigglewiggle.